Hey, welcome to the Black Knight Nation podcast. I'm your host, Sal Internado. The Black Knight Nation podcast is brought to you by Higher Echelon, as always. And like to welcome back a special guest today, Brian Riley, Army hockey coach. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time. I know you're busy this week. Can't believe how fast this season has gone. I know you announced your retirement before the season started, and now we're in the final week of the Atlantic hockey season, and you have your last regular season home game at Tate Rink. And it's got to be a pretty emotional week for you. Just maybe you can talk to us a little bit about that to open up.
Yeah. First, Sal, thanks for having me. Appreciate all you do to promote, Army athletics. And you and I go way back. I remember you covering my son playing in the sectional golf tournament way back when, right? But
no doubt.
Yeah, you know what, Sal? When I made the announcement, or when we announced it to the team in August, it was obviously a bittersweet day, but I knew we had a whole season ahead of us, right? And but oh my gosh, has this season flown by? And now here we are, the last weekend potentially, or the last game potentially at Tate Rink. And talking to my family, each of them keeps telling me, Dad, like, this is going to be sad. And I'm like, sad, like, but then it's caused me to kind of think about it. And this has been a Riley family, I guess, our lives for my brothers, my sister, my kids, my wife, going back for 75 years. And so now that you can see the finish line, it is sad. And but I'm very grateful for having the opportunity to have been a part of it as a kid growing up at West Point. And then now as an assistant coach for 12 years and the head coach for 21 years, and to be able to raise my kids here. So I would like to stop the clock here for a little bit, but it's really going fast. But this year has turned out to be an amazing year. Like
I was going to ask you about that. It's incredible the run you guys.
Like we went through a 9-game losing streak, and everybody has to go through adversity, whether it be when you're on a team or in life. And I remember after we lost our 9th game, one of my favorite quotes is Martin Luther King: "The ultimate measure of a person is how he reacts in times of challenge and controversy," right? So 9-game losing streak, like, that's a challenge. And we had a meeting after that 9th game, and the players talked, and it was a turning point of our season, because since then we have created so many special moments, whether it be 4 wins over Air Force, or a sweep in here against who was the top ranked team, Sacred Heart. And the moments in the locker room after those games, or the moments on the bus rides after those games, have been memories that will stay with me forever. So this is turning out to be a really, really special year.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what might be some of your memories that, growing up around the ranks, 75 years of the family. But then you look at this season, and just the incredible run. You guys have lost once since January 10th.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. And I think 9-1-2 is your record over that stretch. I mean, you totally have turned the season around. Coach with a very young team, it seems like, too. And It's just like, you got to look at the players for getting it done too, but you got to look at the coaching staff too for putting people in the right situations too. Your goalie, Max having a great year. The Ivy twins. I mean, man, it's just been incredible to watch.
No, so you're right. Like, the staff, not me, but the other coaches have done an amazing job. Z and Jack and Wardo and Bobby. but you know what it is, Sal? Like I told you, that meeting we had after we lost our 9th game, and then that weekend we had that meeting on a Tuesday night up in Springfield, Mass, and that weekend. At that point, we were the lowest scoring team in the country, and we came out and we won 9-1 and 13-1. And you know, Sal, belief is a powerful thing. Like I always tell our guys when they're struggling individually, I say, hey, half of being good is thinking you're good. And our team from that point on, you know, instead of coming to the rink hoping to win, they have been coming to the rink expecting to win. And the amazing thing is, like you said, it's so many young guys, you know, first and second year players that I think our top 8 or 9 scorers are probably all plebes and yearlings, freshmen and sophomores. So, and then you talked about JJ and goal, you know, just he has a really calming presence in goal. So it makes the guys in front of him calm. And, yeah, like this as a coach, I don't know if I've ever seen a team turn a season around like this team has. So I think the hockey gods are kind of with us, you know, and but what's really exciting too, especially for Zach, who will be taking over, and Jack and Wardo, is, you know, the potential for these players that are all coming back. But hopefully we still have some special moments to create with this group, and looking forward to what will be 2 tough games this weekend against AIC, and then whomever we play in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know. So you've clinched the top 5 in the league, which means you get a bye, right? And now you're kind of playing this weekend for home ice pretty much, or now?
Yes. Well, so we're in 5th spot, and we do get the bye, which is great, you know, to have that extra weekend, and, you know, to avoid that 1 game like play in. Now we will be in a best 2 out of 3. So we have an opportunity to get 4th, but we would have to get help. So, so you know what? Honestly, we have not even talked about standings or, that's one of the things that I guess in that meeting we hadn't won, so we hadn't scored. And I told the guys, I think we've had way too much focus on winning and scoring. We just need to get back to habits and details, right? And so that's been our primary focus since that point, is everybody just playing a good game. And if everybody plays a good game, then we will have an opportunity to win. So, so the standings have all kind of taken care of themselves. I mean, heck, I think we were picked for 11th by the media, 10th by the coaches. And so that was really the only time that we talked about the standings. And here we are. There are a lot of teams that would like to be in our position right now.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And so going into the season real quick, you had lost some of your top players to the transfer window, which you think of the transfer window in football and maybe other sports, but in hockey, to lose some of your top players, and some of those top players were going to a team in your league. So, I mean, it was just like, that was a bit. So, I mean, this maybe talk about that for a second.
Yeah. So this is part of what is college sports now, right? And maybe it's a good time for me to get out, because I don't believe in it. I just, to have players sitting in your locker room, and then to see them in your league is really hard. But this is the way of college athletics now. So you either adapt, or like me, you go to the sidelines. But that was really, really hard to play against Sacred Heart and see two of our players. It doesn't change that. I would do anything for those guys if they needed me. But it was just really hard. And I just, I don't see it changing. That this is the world that we live in. And when they used to have to sit out a year, there's been a lot of guys in our room that West Point can be a hard place, that I'm sure every single person that sat in that room at one point or another has said, oh man, this place, I got to get out of here. But I've never heard a guy, and I know my dad would say the same thing, and I know my brother Rob would say the same thing. There has never been a player on the last day who has said, I regret coming to West Point.
Yeah.
So now with this new rule where they don't have to sit out, it just makes it easier for people to leave. And I don't know, Sal. I don't like where college athletics is right now. It's like professional sports. I would think the next thing they're going to have is some type of collective bargaining agreement. Kids are going to be signing contracts. So, who would have thought that we would be in college athletics where we are today, just from 5 years ago?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Different.
Hey, real quick, you have 255 career wins. I know you probably don't really follow the stats too much. Your brother Rob has 257. So you're like, that's crazy. To me, that's crazy to think that, right? So you who knows, you could have a couple.
I want to know, did he get credit for some of those RMC wins? Because I don't think I've got credit for those RMC wins. So you know what? We're gonna have to go back to the record books here.
Let's check that out.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Actually, and both of us combined probably still don't have my dad's number. So
not yet. No. Hey, 542 for your dad. Crazy.
Wow.
Over 1,000 wins for the family at Army. That is crazy. Hey, real quick, what do you think what legacy do you think you've left maybe at West Point in college hockey? Because I know you're regarded as one of the really gentlemen of the sport, very sportsmanlike around the hockey rink. What do you think you've left?
Well, you know what? I will never, ever be able to repay college hockey or West Point for all that it has given, not only me, but the Riley family, right? Mm-hmm. I just hope our players, or the players that I've had the opportunity to coach, if you ask, would tell you, Sal, that, man, Coach Riley really cared about me. And in the college hockey world, I guess that I would hope people would say that, you know what, he's a good person and he was good for the game. Like I said, I could never give back to the game what it's given me. So I'm just really grateful for having had the opportunity to coach at West Point. And the opportunity to be involved in college hockey. And I've lived a dream. Not many people get to say that they lived their dream, right? So I'm one of the lucky ones.
I know you have games. I know there's still some games to be played. But have you thought about what the future looks like for you? Is it still going to be around the game? Are you going to still next year? Will we see you at Tate Rink watching Black Knights? What do you think there?
Well. Hopefully, some of your listeners, if anybody's looking for somebody, you know what, I'm available. I'm gonna try to find something, and obviously, this is all I've known. I love going to all the other Army games and watching the teams, and watching the coaches. I mean, I have relationships, like we're up here in the Hollander Center with the basketball teams, and I know a lot of those players and the coaches, and oh my gosh, what a year both of them are having.
Yeah.
The lax teams. I just love Army sports. So I'm going to be around this area. We have a house in Highland Falls. So yeah, maybe you'll see me driving the Zamboni. I've never driven a Zamboni, so I would have to learn. But yeah, I'm not. Eventually, someday, I'd like to be underneath a palm tree and my toes in the sand, but I'm not ready for that quite yet.
Right. Hey, we really appreciate your time. I know it's a big week for you, and Saturday is going to be very emotional. I'm guessing this weekend's going to be very emotional, but man, I hope the Black Knight Nation Army fans show up this weekend. It's going to be some great hockey against the American International, and also a great moment for you to be recognized too. And Coach, thanks so much for everything you've done. When we were first starting this podcast, you were one of the first coaches that jumped on with us. You've been on here a couple times. I know your love for Army athletics. I really appreciate you being here for Black Knight Nation too. It's been a real honor. Every time I've seen you, like on the practice field or at games, we've had some chats, and thanks so much. It's such a stand-up guy, a class act, and we really appreciate everything, and all the best to you the rest of the season.
Well, Sal, thank you so much for having me on. And like I said at the start, it's people like you that have a passion for sports, but you in particular, a passion for Army West Point athletics. You're the one that I need to be thanking. And, it has been both an honor and a privilege to be on your podcast. And I look forward to seeing you around. And, it's the relationships that I've been able to create or be a part of these last 33 years is what truly makes it special. So thank you. And I hope our paths cross in the near future.
No doubt, Coach. It's been an honor, and thanks so much. And good luck this weekend and in the playoffs too. Thanks so much.
I got to catch my brother. All right. Thanks, Sal.
See you, Coach.
See you.